All right, we're live. Welcome back to Equal Time, second show of the day. This might be the first time we're doing this. Matt's hair grew long and he put on glasses in the interim. So, happy to be here with my co-host and obviously a special guest. But thanks for joining me, Liz Shendel. How are you doing, Liz?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm super excited to talk to Sarah. I've obviously been following her actually since probably before she took that kick in Vanderbilt. But yeah,
we need receipts on that, Liz. You got to have
it's somewhere. I swear, there was a goal. You assisted a goal, and
in the SCC
yes, because I really enjoy college soccer. I'm mostly Santa Clara, sorry, but I remember that, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And that was before you played for the football team.
Yeah, it was a few days before. I think that's kind of what got me on the football team. People are like, "Hey, she can kick." So
yeah, all right. Well, I'll get the receipts later. But yeah, so we're so lucky today to be joined by you. First signing for Minnesota Aurora FC, standout goalkeeper for both Vanderbilt and North Texas, and really all-around change maker for women in sports, anyone in sports, Sarah Fuller.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Virtual applause. Awesome. So we want to, obviously we said before we jumped on, Sarah, you've been doing press for this team, which is exciting. It's exciting to see how much attention is on this team, and you're a part of that. One thing that's unique about Aurora, obviously, that makes it kind of fun for us to cover too, is it's community owned, and there's a lot of values that come with that. The board is majority women. The coaching staff is all women, which for people who follow, college soccer, it is, a lot more rare than you'd think. And so, seeing the community aspect of it, we know there's other teams you could have played for. There's teams closer to Texas. I'm sure there's a million summer league teams in Texas. So what was it that drew you to play for Aurora in Minnesota this summer?
Yeah, well, I mean, they reached out to me, and I was kind of when I heard about it, and I heard about the community owned and everything, and just the USLW league and what they're doing, this pre-pro kind of thing. I just felt like it was the best fit, honestly, especially with me and what I kind of want to stand for in terms of supporting women's sports and everything. I just when I heard the story, I was like, I have to, this is fantastic. And then, of course, the opportunity to challenge myself and get ready for that next step if I decide to go pro. So, I have to say, having it be community owned, the best social media interactions I've had by far, because, with the football stuff, I got a lot of positives, but there were a lot of negatives. And this was all positive. This was all fantastic, great interactions, and everybody's been so kind. So I do really appreciate that.
I know that's high praise coming from someone like you, Sarah, who has, got the attention you have in the past. And maybe that's, I'm a Minnesotan, and so maybe that's the optimistic, positive energy of Minnesotans trying to survive the winter, combined with women's soccer positivity, and that made us happy as Minnesotans to hear.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I'm pretty familiar with what college players do in the summer, to stay fit. So what do you usually do in previous seasons when you were still in college? How did you stay fit? How did you keep your touches accurate still?
Yeah, mainly I worked out with other college athletes, and we had this group that came together, and we had 2 coaches that would just sit there and be like, go run this, and that is all I would do. And I had my keeper coaches here that I would see a few times a week. So that's why I'm excited about this, because it's so important to get game experience in, and I haven't had that in the past in the summer. So that I think that's why I'm this excited about this, because that's the best way to learn and grow as a soccer player, is to play the game. So this is definitely going to be an improvement in terms of staying prepared. So
awesome. Yeah, they're making you run. Goalkeepers don't need to be game fit.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I've argued that forever, but now I'm like also training for a marathon, so I you know, I'm kind of contradicting myself there, but
Yeah, I saw your tweet about your new PR being 7 miles. That's I
yeah.
mean, and a lot of teams nowadays really want you to play more like not physical, but like sweeper style,
Mhm.
where you really need that footwork, but you do need to be game fit. So I mean, I guess it makes sense they need to, not as much as everyone else.
Yeah, but I have to say, I mean, I know it was a PR, but it was still not fast. It was, but we'll take the PRs when they come for sure.
Exactly. Any other teams you were kind of looking at besides Aurora FC? But obviously Aurora FC kind of stuck out to you more, but who else was on the docket?
Yeah, I think like it's funny because Chattanooga FC, I think, kept tweeting me. Or like fans of Chattanooga kept tweeting me, and I was like kind of already in conversation with Aurora and stuff, and I was like, oh, well, I really am so excited about this and this opportunity. But and I have some other teammates who are playing, like from Vandy. They're gonna play on some teams in Tennessee. So, maybe in the playoffs and championships we can meet up again. That would be awesome.
Nice.
And they're one of the other fan-owned, supporter-owned clubs too. I invested in Chattanooga when they started their men's team. And I think it's the Chattanooligans. I don't know if I'm the fans of that team. It's a mouthful. I think we'll come up with Aurora. Aurora might have an easier time.
Yeah, no, I tell you what though, when I saw like the Aurora and I was following along with their like what they were gonna choose for their crest and their name, it was so funny because I was like, that Aurora one looks so cool. Like I really hope they go with that. And then they went live with that, and I was like, I have to stick with this team. Like that's so cool. So you can't not with like such a cool logo like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to break quick to do a quick ad read for our sponsor, Pence Homes. You can see the ticker on the bottom. This episode is brought to you by Pence Homes. It's a real estate team with Keller Williams, and Matt has personally experienced working with Nate and Lydia when he sold and bought his home last fall. Nate has been a supporter of the local soccer community, including as an owner of Minnesota Aurora FC. Matt also enjoyed working with one of their preferred lenders, Andy Scherer, and Luminate Financing. If you have house questions, selling, buying, need a furnace or a flooring person, shoot the message over to pencehomes.com. And I just have to add, Nate Pence is a great tipper at the Blackheart Soccer Bar where I work. So that's as high a praise as you can give a person as far as I'm concerned.
Nice. Okay, so Sarah, I want to dive really into your college career. So you started in the SCC at Vanderbilt, really solid conference. Tell us how you came to pick Vanderbilt specifically, though. What'd you like about your program? What kept you there for 4 years?
Yeah. So I'd say like I was looking around at like some smaller like D1s. I had some D2s offer me when I was junior in high school. And obviously wanted to go like big D1. I was really actually looking at Texas Tech because all my family went there, and it's in Texas, and it's just I was like, oh, everybody went there, I'm gonna go there. And just didn't really click with the coach and everything. And then crazy enough, like a huge snowstorm hit Texas when there was supposed to be an ECNL tournament in Texas. And that is when my former coach, Darren, he was in Texas for the ECNL tournament, and everybody got snowed in. The tournament got canceled, so nobody could leave, but everybody's there, and you couldn't play. And so he just started looking at film from kids around the area, and he saw me. And so I think that's hilarious. Like, I don't even know if we would have played, he would have even so it's kind of thankful for that. So, then they offered me, and I went to a few camps and stuff, and was also looking at going to an A&M camp. And then I went to Vandy camp. They offered me, and they're like, don't go to the A&M camp. But, when I went up there and, just saw Nashville and like the SCC and then the degree you get from Vanderbilt, it was just like, I couldn't pass it up. My dad took me on the first camp visit, and I think we went and saw Zach Brown band, and we had pit tickets, like the whole, like he was selling it for me, like. So,
that's very Nashville, right? Yeah.
That's very Nashville. So that definitely sold me, and I went in my freshman year, actually I had a broken foot, and that was like very frustrating. I just like kept dealing with injuries. The next year I slipped a disc in my back, so I was like in constant pain the whole season, and finally got like a shot done for that, and that helped a ton. And so then junior year, I was like faced with like two starters, like two senior starters, and they split time. So it was like I was having to battle even more. Like you had two people you had to get through to get to play. And I kind of realized at that point, I was like, okay, I'm not going to beat them out. I'm not going to be able to start and probably play. The best thing I can do is like train really hard to help them get better, and then also help my team get better. And so, I just kept doing that. And then I was able to come in my senior year and finally got the starting gig. It took forever, but I finally got it, and just rolled with it. And of course, that was during the pandemic, like the early stages where we didn't know what was going on. And the SCC was like, we are playing. And we did. But we were in like total lockdown all the time, had to get tested 3 times a week. It was a lot. So, but we were able to do it. And then we got to the tournament, and I'm like, my proudest moment, everybody's like, oh, football. I'm like, no, it was the SEC tournament, and it was winning those games. And especially beating A&M. We beat A&M, and I was like, we got this. Like, we won this thing. So, I mean, it was a great program. It really challenged me. Obviously, academic wise, like, was tough. You got some really smart kids that go there, and so that challenged me there. And I'm so I'm also very proud that I got my degree from there, because that wasn't easy, especially while being a D1 athlete. So I got my diploma sitting right here. I look at it every now and then. I'm like, you did that.
There you go. I love it. Is it Commodores? I shot in the dark. Okay.
Yeah, Commodores, which I think is like, it's not like the captain of a ship, but it's like, that's what it is. We're the Commodores, so
you know more than us. I don't know. Yeah, we don't get a lot of Commodore mascots in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But so, and we have to ask about that SCC title run. It's an amazing thing. I mean, that you got the chance, and I mean, your build up, like you said, I mean, going through injury years, and then it's the year, you earn it. You play such a big part of that team. And Liz mentioned this earlier. We had to talk about this. Did you score a goal and assist?
No, I just made an assist. We had a free kick from midfield, and Reagan Kelly, she scored off of like it bounced, and I think she scored off the volley. And I lost my mind. I think that was the game we played Tennessee, so our rival.
Yep.
And I scored an assist, which was insane. So, I was like that. Literally, I think you can hear the audio of the announcers being like, Sarah Fuller's losing it back there. No, I was.
Well, had you ever had a goal or an assist before?
Yeah, I'd had quite a few in high school, actually, like because it's really windy in Texas, so a lot of times off of my punts I would be able to have assists, and I would do the same thing. I would take free kicks from midfield and stuff. And I froze there for a second. Sorry. But yeah, but it'd been a while. Obviously, it'd been 4 years since high school, so it was nice to get my name up on the board again.
So after your senior year at Vanderbilt, you decided to look at other programs where you could continue playing. What was that decision like, and how did you go about that recruitment process? You're obviously already well known. You had that name, but what was that process like?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, like I decided to go into the transfer portal before everything had happened. So like nobody knew about me. So really hadn't played. Coach gave me the Vandy coach gave me an option to stay, but really like the grad school just didn't really align with what I wanted. So I was going to go into hospital administration. So I was trying to find a school that fit that, fit the soccer and all that stuff. It was nice doing it as like a 21-year-old instead of a 15-year-old. you know, like how it works, and you know, like I had a few schools offer me, you know, like a 75% scholarship or 50%, and I was like, sorry, I'm not interested. Like I know like what my worth is at this point, and I actually had one coach like argue with me, and I was like, we're not going to argue here. I have other options. um, so you know, I think North Texas was just such a good fit, and then obviously when all the football stuff happened, I was like, I don't want to go into hospital administration anymore. I have all this sports opportunity, and I feel like it would be like I need to find something that I could like be useful with all that stuff that has happened. So they actually have the like #1 program for sports entertainment management. So I'm getting my MBA in that right now, and it's really cool. Like we did projects with the Cowboys. Right now we're doing stuff with the PGA, and you know, I've given presentations on like the NWSL, which was so funny because they gave a presentation saying like, this is so dumb. They shouldn't have their tournament or the final in Portland, and it shouldn't be this early. And then literally like, the day after I presented it, just to my cohort, like it wasn't like a legit presentation, but the day after they changed it and they moved it to Louisville. And I was like, I feel like I did something about that.
So. That's good. You put it out. You put it into the ether.
Yeah, so, yeah. I manifested it for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's like, it's like if you wrote, I had a student like with me write their senior paper on something with the Middle East, and then like a war broke out, you know, like right before their senior presentation, they had to change everything. So it's like, but you kind of segued into my next question really well. I mean, which is, you obviously got so much attention, you know, at least in part, you know, for your record breaking, you know, football record, but you've turned that into a really positive thing. And I think, you know, people, I think, admire the way you're trying to use that in a positive way. You know, you were named Director of Athlete Relations for Nocap, which is a name, image, likeness platform. And I will just say, because we track name, image, likeness stuff here, even though women's soccer isn't the foreground of it. Like we're happy that we get to pay our players. So our guests will follow up to you, Sarah, but we pay every player guest, including the college players. So it's important. And so thank you to the supporters for making that possible. But so I wanted to ask you about your role at Nocap and what you see that work as an opportunity for you going forward, and just kind of what you're seeing of what is needed most to help athletes in the new space for NIL.
No, I love that. So Nick, who's the owner and creator and all this stuff of Nocap Sports, he was, I believe, a D2 baseball player. And, you know, he noticed like once he graduated and like this opportunity that was coming up, kind of like nobody knew when it was going to become legal or anything, but he wanted to kind of get on the forefront of it. And so he created this, started building this platform to make it free for athletes and compliance at schools for athletes to partner with brands. And they get that money up front. So they don't, like, Nocap doesn't take like a cut from the athletes. The companies don't take a cut from the athletes. What is presented to them is what they get. And so when I heard about this, and Nick approached me about it, you know, wanting kind of the image I had and everything about this. And I was like, that's fantastic, because obviously everything I went through at Vanderbilt and with the football stuff, I didn't get a penny of it. And so that was, you know, that was frustrating. I mean, I was getting letters in the mail from the university saying someone donated in your honor. And I was like, I'm still not on a full ride. Like, you know, it was frustrating. So, you know, when I saw this, I was like, wow, okay, so I can help other athletes here. And so that's really just my kind of my job, is like to give an athlete's perspective on like what I experienced firsthand with NIL and the things that are frustrating or things that need to be fixed. And that goes directly into the platform. And then as well as I host these weekly Nocap talks with different athletes, just to kind of get the message out there, but also just to talk to them about their experience. And I found a lot of joy in doing that. And I'm meeting with a diver tonight, so getting to hear like different sports and stuff, it's definitely very cool. But we're excited. We kind of went through a rebrand, like all the all our visuals and stuff got updated, and then we're going to launch the new website soon. So I'm really excited about it. It's a really great company to be a part of for sure.
That's
Where do you
super
see
cool.
the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
No, you're fine. No.
I just wanted to follow. The quick follow up is when you do, if you are seeing opportunities that might come up, like if you were to see the way women's soccer athletes specifically might be able to utilize name, image, likeness, like because it starts small. I mean, there's only a few. The number of athletes with big deals is really small. You know, most of it's like bits, and so I'm just curious from you seeing it more professionally, like what types of deals is it those simple like social media promotions, is it, you know, what type of, is it just gear giving away, like where do you see it starting for in terms of athletes in women's soccer?
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing is really trying to like build your brand and like your social media presence for sure. That helps a ton. I know companies are really looking to push like social media and ads that way. So that helps, but you don't necessarily have to have like thousands and thousands of followers to be able to make these deals. These micro influencers, like people who follow you in your community, who are fans of like the team that you're on and stuff, are invested in your story and what you're promoting. And so brands are really interested in hooking into that market for sure. So like my advice to like any college athlete is to really try to grow your social media presence as best you can in a way that is like natural and like fun for you. Because I found like if you're not like in it and it's kind of fake, or you know you're trying to push something, people don't buy it. And so that's the thing. Like if it's something you're interested, have fun with it. The other thing is it also helps to like keep performing well out on the field. That's kind of like an incentive. Like if you're performing well, you'll get more followers, you'll get you know, people like paying attention to you and stuff. So yeah, I would say that for sure. Definitely would help with that. But you know, I do want to see soccer continue to grow, but I'm really thankful that like women's basketball and women's volleyball are right up there in the top 4, which I was very scared of when this first all came out, that like there was no women's sports up there. So the fact that there's 2 and we're like, you know, they're up there, I'm definitely super happy about, and we'll continue to see that to grow.
Yeah, I know, that's awesome. That, I mean, being an athlete is like, I mean, a college athlete specifically is a universal experience. Everyone across all the sports really wants similar things. And even though you just have experience with soccer and football, you're still really great resource for those athletes. You're going to be an amazing resource for your teammates at Aurora FC. I mean, and yeah, athletes, they want to be valued and protected and compensated for your time and like the hard work you put in to, you know, just, I mean, performing on and off the field as a student athlete. But yeah, and I just yeah, I'm so excited that I think you're going to be a really amazing resource too. You're going to have a lot of like college players on your team.
Yeah.
And you're going to be a great resource to them. But yeah, so I have a question, a last one before I know Mark has some rapid fire questions prepared. But earlier you had said like something really important to you was that you connected with your coach. And that was something important about Vanderbilt, that you hadn't connected with other coaches you talked to, but you did with the Vanderbilt coach. So have you been able to connect and, you know, get to speak with the Aurora FC coaching staff? And, you know, what are you excited about working with them going forward?
Yeah. So I actually got to like FaceTime meet Nicole the other day, and she's just fantastic. And she definitely she said she advocated for me to come there and wanted me to be you know, a part of the team. And the fact that she like was interested in me and my performance and everything meant a lot. So she's been super great, and you know, I'm really excited to get to work with all of them and actually get to meet them in person soon in May. So yeah, I mean, just from the talking to them and the vibes I've got, like it's fantastic, and I couldn't be more excited to head there this summer. So
nice. Yeah, we We got to meet them a couple, like maybe a month ago. Literally, like the coolest people. There's
They're
you know
very
like,
laid back as well. Like
yeah.
I love that part of it. Like because if you have coaches that are like, you know, down your throat all the time, you're just like, all right, like, you know, just from talking to her, it sounds like she does a good job of like, you know, I think she'll do a great job of managing this team, and super excited for it.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I have literally no idea where Mark went. He was like, here.
I know. I was like, we got to keep the show rolling. Like, he just disappeared.
Okay, bye, Mark, I guess. But I will take over. I am now the captain of the ship, and we have some rapid fires for you. And so, you know, if anyone's following you on Twitter, obviously, Marcus, he texted me, but we don't care. One thing that's super important to you, obviously, is tacos. I love that. As a Californian who knows very great tacos, I'm not going to compare and say what's better, Texas or California. I don't want to get into that. We don't have that energy or time. But so what food did you most miss from Texas when you went to college?
Okay, so there's this restaurant. It's my favorite restaurant ever. It's called Chiloso, which is like a Chipotle, but like better. I literally just came from there. I just ate lunch there. This is my favorite place. They know me. They like know my orders. So I just come in. I'm like, yeah, the regular. So I really miss them. I have to say that was like, if there was a Chiloso like in Nashville, I probably would have like never gone home for Christmas break or anything.
I respect that. That's the dream, is having a taco place know your order. So when you walk in there, like already preparing it.
Yes.
Mark, you missed a lot, obviously. We started rapid fire without you, and I already asked the question, what did she miss most from Texas when she went to college?
No, and it segues to sorry for the technology drop. I don't know what that was, but Sarah, you had your little part of the positive response you referenced probably was that little viral like tweet asking about tacos, which is very, very sweet, and Minnesotans are always proud to rep ourselves. I will say, you know, as an honest Minnesotan, just keep expectations moderate.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Because you're from Texas.
Like
you're from Texas, Liz is from California. We understand where we are, you know.
Yeah.
But what was the what was the best place to eat in Nashville? Like, what did you like there that you weren't getting in Texas? Like, you can't really say the barbecue's better, I guess, because Texas would, you know, ruin you for it. But what did you like when you got there?
Gosh, that's hard because like it felt like every week there was a new restaurant out. So I'd probably say that, just like the variety you could get in Nashville, and you could just go around, and like each spot had like its own personality. Like you could go to the Gulch and it was like fancy, or Germantown, which is like more laid back, or you could go to Broadway, which is like where everybody parties. That's all in Nashville. So I would just say like I do kind of miss like that like small, like it just felt like a mini Dallas to me, like easy to get around and, you know, go have fun. So I definitely do miss like the atmosphere of it for sure.
Nice. So a few years ago, Bethany Balser, who plays for Reign, she won Rookie of the Year, and she got like a $50 Chipotle gift card as her like prize for being a Rookie of the Year. What did you get for winning the SCC?
Oh, what did I get?
Yeah.
A ring?
Yeah, I did get a ring. It's right here, actually. Let me find it.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Bragging rights.
Well, I have 3, so I gotta find. This is funny.
I have 3.
You have 3 what? 3.
Well, we have 1 from winning the regular season, and then 1 from winning the what are we, the East Division?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, they go deep. They go deep with the rings.
Yeah, I'm like,
1 year.
Kind of like. We were like, we don't really want a ring for just winning the East, but hey, we got one anyway. So there you go. Those are those 2, and then this one's mine. Like, this is the one that I won. So super.
They kind of it is funny seeing those, because it doesn't seem like there's any scalability of those. Like, they all look like Super Bowl rings. Like, I remember when I was in college and guys who won you know, it was like the worst Division III football conference in Morris, University of Minnesota Morris, and the guys had won the conference tournament last year. I was like, that's cool, and they all wore the biggest rings I've ever seen in my life, and I was like, wow, those aren't subtle, yeah, but but
Yeah,
cool.
no.
I mean, 3, that's amazing though.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And I've only worn them for like graduation. I wore them that whole weekend, and then I was like, okay, we're good. Like now
Well,
they just sit on the desk.
Did you put them on here or put them? How did you do the 3?
Okay, so I had it planned out where I wanted this whole hand filled. Now, unfortunately, I could try for one more at UNT this next year, but no, I've broken fingers since then, so some of them don't fit anymore.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so.
Well, so I will say, Sarah, if you win the W League, Equal Time will get a ring. We'll find a ring. Maybe we'll have to pay for rings for all the players. Matt, just budget up. But what I need to ask. So you've played in 2 different conferences. You know, Conference USA, right, and then in the SCC. So a lot of different away trips. So I'm curious, in terms of like it being a cool stadium or it being a cool city to go to. What were your favorite away trips in college?
Yeah, I've gotten that a lot. So I would say like we got to go to Hawaii this year with Conference USA with North Texas, which was really cool. Definitely a little hard to adjust to like the time change and stuff. But no, that was a lot of fun and great to like spend that time with your teammates, especially like right after preseason. You're like, all right, let's go to Hawaii. So that was awesome. And then for the SEC, I'm going to say it's LSU only because they had the funniest hecklers like ever. And like normally that ticks me off and I'm like, just try not to pay attention to it and, just focus on the game. But they were, I couldn't help but laugh. They were just being so funny. Like, as a goalkeeper, you like spit in your gloves, get your gloves ready to make a save and stuff, nice and sticky. And every time I do that, they would go, ew, COVID. And I was like they just kept making like the funniest jokes. And they were dressed in like shark costumes. Like,
sure.
Like the Katy Perry shark costume.
Yes.
So I got like I like still follow that guy on social media and stuff because so
that's great. As a former heckler, it's too enabling to hear that it really was positive. But when it's not negative, when it's just for fun, it is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Minnesota?
It's funny because I told my friends I was like, hey, I'm gonna play in Minnesota, and they just go Minnesota, like
not bad.
Yeah,
not bad. That was pretty good, Sarah. Yeah, that was good.
So now anytime we're like, I'm going to Minnesota. So we do that every time. So that's probably the first thing. But I'm so excited to like go and explore. My mom and sister have been up there because my sister used to be a volleyball player and they used to hold tournaments up there. And my mom said like this downtown, like the city is kind of like there's like tunnels and like you can walk throughout the whole city without having to like go outside, which I thought was really cool. And then like, isn't the Mall of America up there too? Is that where that is?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's we hope to give you things better than that.
Better than that? Okay.
That's my goal is, Sarah, when you leave, you don't tell anyone about the Mall of America.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see like all the like nature, if there's any trails or anything or anything to go visit like that. I'm definitely interested in. So I'm excited to explore for the 3 months I'm there for sure.
Liz, when you hear Minnesota, what do you think first?
I mean, I definitely think that it's cold. Like
that's a thing.
Year round.
Such great. Minnesota will love it. You didn't even mention weather as the first thing.
Hey, I'm not going to be there in the winter, so
I look. I mean, we're very proud of it. I mean, and Minnesota is in the summer. I mean, it's one of the best places. It'll still get hot, but it's you have to get up north. See a little bit of the woods, maybe.
Yeah.
What's the name, like the mascot, of the first soccer team you ever played on?
Oh my God.
Or the club, if it was the club,
No, it wasn't a club. I played for the Penguins.
Yes.
And our uniforms didn't match at all. I think we had like neon green and like a navy blue color. So Yeah, it was fantastic. And that was funny because they put me in as goalkeeper, and I hated it. I was like, why are they putting me in here? I'm a field player and all this stuff. And then like now that's what I do like every day. So
That's so fair. I know I was when I played, because I played for a long time, I got put in the goal, like in the box basically too, because I was this size when I was like 9. Like I had a really quick growth spurt and then stopped
and
growing.
they're like,
I
you're
was
big, you look like you can stop shots.
exactly. And it was kind of fun. I didn't mind it actually.
Yeah. No, it was
Okay.
like after I learned how to do it, I was like, okay, yes, I
It's
do
not
enjoy
bad.
this. But when they
Yeah.
just put you in there, you're like, this is a punishment. I just sit back here.
That's fair. Who's your favorite soccer player? Doesn't have to be a goalkeeper. It can be anyone.
That's hard. Well, the first one obviously like that comes to mind is like Alex Morgan. Like I always followed her and like Sydney Leroux and everybody because I like grew up watching them. So and Sydney Leroux is just so funny. She's so
Yes.
genuine. So that I don't know. And then like I got to meet Ashlyn and Allie Krieger. I got to go to the NWSL championship. Wait, I have to tell this story. It's awful, but it's so
Tell away.
I can't wait.
So I get to go to the championship, okay, and then like the first half we're just chilling watching. And then I have like a friend of like my agent like text me and he's like, hey, do you want to come to the suite? And I was like, oh sure, awesome. Right as I'm getting my stuff together, someone steps on like a ketchup packet behind me and splatters me with ketchup. And I was like, okay. And I'm wearing this white sweatshirt. So I'm like kind of covered in ketchup, get it cleaned up, and we go up there. So I meet him and everything, and he's like, here's like food, like you want some food? I was like, oh great, I'm starving. So I go and get like a plate of potatoes, and like I'm eating these potatoes, and then one of them like it just falls down and falls on the floor, and I was like, oh crap. So I was trying to find a napkin. And couldn't find a napkin, so I just like I picked it up and put it on the plate real quick. In comes Ashlyn Harris. And she's like, hi, I'm Ashlyn Harris. And I'm like, I have potato on my hand. And she's like, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. And so I shake her hand. She's wearing like these nice leather gloves. Like, you know, she always looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And I could see her kind of like get the potato off. And she's like, well, it's so nice to meet you. And like, it's nice to meet you too. Why do I have food all over me? But that was like, it was so great to meet them. They were so nice and so genuine. So I know that was like a ramble, but
they're chill. That's the thing though. They're the good people to meet with food on your clothes. They're low key.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they were so incredible and so nice. And I just love the way they carry themselves. Like they were just fantastic and always looked up to them. And then I, you know, got to meet them with potato on me and ketchup.
With ketchup on your back.
so many good Insta follows in that story too. Because Sydney Leroux is a wonderful Insta follow. Ashley Morgan. The Crashland is great. All good follows. Yeah. Yes. And I guess they're all like little kid related now that I think about it. But yeah, that was the video of Sydney Leroux. Like after the holidays, taking a shot on Cassius in the goal, and Cassius says, "Not too hard, mommy," and she shoots on him, and he's like, "That was really hard." It's like, "Sorry, mommy doesn't know how strong she is." Like it was so
funny. Yeah, and it was funny because I asked them about they did that Go-Go Squeeze commercial. And I was asking him about that. I was like, how was that? Because it's so funny because we have the same like agent. So I was like, how was that? Like, what was all about? And they were like, it was great, but we had to do that in like one take because all the kids were there. And she's like, we had to rush and, you know, we tried to keep them all engaged and stuff. And I was like, I don't know why, but y'all were all on that Go-Go Squeeze set. And I just thought it was so cool.
We have to follow. I mean, so you opened the door, Sarah, for us to ask you about a little bit of the celebrity encounters you've had. So I just need to ask because I know you referenced going to the ESPYs, I think, right?
Yes.
And so like, and you're on the Today Show. I mean, it's nuts. Like, I mean, nuts. So just aside from that Crashland story, like, what other time was it a big moment like that where you were just kind of blown away by star power, or just like, whoa, this is surreal? But what are those moments that stick out to you now a little bit later after that?
Yeah, I think like afterwards, after like the announcement of me playing football and everything, I got so many DMs from like so many athletes. I think LeBron James like reposted me. Dak Prescott actually DM'd me, which is so funny because I told an ex of mine one day that I would like date him, and I was like, I feel like we're close enough.
He's in the DMs.
So that was cool. But I would definitely say like the ESPYs was very cool. It was great too because I got to bring my dad with me, and he's like always been you know, my parents have been fantastic, and my dad's just always been like a supporter of me. So like the fact that I got to bring him, and like he got to meet Gronk and Derrick Henry and like all his people that he looks up to, which is, my dad's like a big dude and he looked so tiny next to them. My dad, I'm 6'1", my dad's like 6'3", like looks like he could beat you up, and Gronk looks like he could beat him up.
Oh my God. That is so cool that you got to enjoy it with your parents, you know, and like getting to, because they really helped you. And you also, by the way, it's like you probably missed out on some of how crazy it could have been because of COVID, right? Where you were doing a lot of like at-home videos, whereas like you weren't flown to the Today Show, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, I was kind of okay with that because like it was so much at one time. And guys, I was still in school, so I was still doing finals, and it was weird. So it was weird to show up. We were on Zoom class, but it was weird to be in class and then someone privately like chats you like, "Oh my God, I saw what you did," and I'm like, "Okay, we talk about like our history class right now." It was crazy for sure. So I am kind of thankful that it was a little toned down because of all that.
Well, it's exciting for us to see the way you're turning. It's not just like a moment for fun that you got, you know, attention, like you are turning it into your path for making change. So that's really cool. And that's definitely the reason people were so excited around you signing. I mean, we saw and it's great for the game because we saw the level of attention it got, you know, and so it's a big deal for the W League and for Aurora.
Yeah, no, I was very happy about that. I kept seeing Aurora's follow count, and I was like, yeah, let's go. We kept going up, which is awesome.
Yeah, we all want the Fuller bump. Yeah, equal time, everybody wants the Fuller bump.
Everybody call it equal time, guys.
But so just thank you so much for the time you spent with us, Sarah. This is such an exciting time, you know, for women's soccer in Minnesota specifically, and just seeing the new leagues pop up, you know, like the W League. So we're just seeing people excited and want to invest, you know, and so I think we're seeing the example of that. So if you have anything else you want to say to you know, people in Minnesota, you know, fans that they're going to watch Aurora this summer, I guess, you know, I'll give you the last word on that.
Yeah, well, I just say I'm super excited. You guys better show up to games. I'm ready to pack that stadium because it is such an awesome stadium. And I'm excited to like get out there and like get to meet everybody as well. So very much looking forward to that, and y'all show some love as we have new players coming in. We've already had 2. I'm not the only one in the group chat anymore. We got more coming, so I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.